JAMA was created after 9/11 when a number of YPOers wanted to create greater understanding between two minority populations here in the United States.
We felt in YPO that if there is a place where people can sit together and share their experiences and the struggles that they are feeling, it would have been the best place to do so because we have this common trust.
So we created this thing called JAMA, which is Jewish, Arab, Muslim Americans.
The impact of JAMA on my YPO experience has been significant. I grew up like many suburban or Jewish kids in the US, and whatever it was we learned in school or in synagogue, Hebrew school, was the entire narrative that they learned. JAMA's allowed me to build deep, meaningful relationships with YPOers who grew up in very different environments, but share a common love of learning and of having a positive impact on the world.
I grew up in Lebanon, and I lived the early stage of my life in an environment that was pretty Arab-influenced environment, and had very little experience dealing with Jewish people. And coming to the US, joining YPO, I learned a lot from my fellow non-Arab YPOers.
We had a JAMA meeting in Boston during the famous marathon bombing, and one of our members could not feel that he could fly out of the city of Boston because he would be pointed out as being an Arab, and he was afraid what would happen to him. So we learned from one another, and I think that's been one of our great things, is where we can educate each other on our own thoughts.
We are living with the illusion that we are free, but in reality, we're born free for a few minutes, and then immediately we're assigned a name, a nationality, an ethnicity, a religion, and sometimes even a religious sect, and then we spend the rest of our life chained by things that we actually never chose. Forums like this will allow a person to break away from all these chains by exposing themselves to the opposite point of view.
Part of our cultural DNA as YPOers is lifelong learning and to create impact. And by offering more YPOers the opportunity to learn from each other, to learn and share, not just with people from our neighborhoods, people who grew up in similar ways to us, but from people with very diverse backgrounds and fascinating narratives.
There's so many problems in the world that YPO should be more than just an eating and drinking club. It should be an ability where we have the best and the brightest who can make a difference in this world. Because it's not for me, it's for my children. And if my kids live in a better world because I did something to help them.
Having experienced all the amazing benefits over these years from being part of this great JAMA forum, I think we all would love to have other YPOers feel the same benefits that